So there is a video of a South African lady that was in Shanghai, China, and she was subjected to some form of abuse by the school authorities where she was teaching as a kindergarten teacher. And I want us to watch the video, and it is out there. This video is not about raising awareness, but it's about a lesson in life that we need to learn as Black people. So around until the end of the video, and then I'm going to give my comments later.
My name is Nolusindiso. I'm from South Africa. I'm currently based in Shanghai, China, and I work as a kindergarten teacher. On Wednesday, August 23rd, during a disagreement, the HR manager at my job, a guy, punched me on my face.
Wow.
After he punched me and I was screaming, trying to get out of his office, he pushed me down on the couch, telling me that I needed to sit down. I screamed and I was trying to get my phone so I can take pictures and videos of what was happening. Instead, he grabbed my phone and said he didn't have my phone anymore. I don't know how I got out of the office, but somehow I got out. And I was running in the passage of this kindergarten trying to get help. There were various women there. All of them just watched and did nothing. I managed to run to the stairs, but by the time I got to the stairs, he was already there. And he was preventing me from going past him. I was screaming, but he was pulling me, preventing me from leaving.
I want us to get to a point where she breaks down, and when she talks about how it is difficult for her or any other women that are out there. And I know some people, we've got stories that talk about how they are suffering at the hands of their employers, especially out there in be it China, be it Dubai, be it Kuwait and other places. Let us hear here.
Feeling like I didn't have a choice, I ended up settling for compensation. I'm making this video because
man, this is bad.
I'm making this video because there are so many of us out here who are suffering under the hands of our employers, who continue to disobey the law and treat us very poorly. And I'm also making this video because I feel very powerless in this situation. They told me that if I talk to anybody or go to the media about the situation, then they would sue me and I would have to go to jail or get deported. They also threatened to put me on some teachers' blacklist in China so that I would never get a job in China. They also refused to give me any documents that would allow me to work anywhere else in China during this moment. But I'm not okay with just keeping quiet and pretending like this is okay and nothing happened. And I hope if you're seeing this video, you pass it to as many people as possible so that people know that this happened to me.
It's painful in the sense that if you watch from the beginning of the video, that's the first point that I want to make. When this video was published, it was just after the BRICS summit. Leaders, the president of China, Xi Jinping, and other leaders from Asia, like Ravindra Modi coming to South Africa. Why is it that in these countries they love Africa, but this is how Africans are treated in their own countries? The thing that is happening in the UAE are stories of people that have been complained that you are being abused in the UAE, in other places. Brother-in-law went through the same. He had to leave the country and come back to Zimbabwe. It's very painful, and we know the stories of those ladies who are being forced to do some evil things. You know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, this is how a black man is treated, or a black person is being treated all across the world. Another video, this video, I want to watch opening to a black priest in the Vatican. In fact, these are the people that are supposed to uphold some form of faith, but this is what is happening. You can see on this video, this priest is greeting other white priests, you see, hugging them like that. But he gets to a black priest. What does he do? No hugging, nothing. You see, racism right there. He gets to the white priest, does differently. To quote the words of Julius Malema, what he said, a black man or a black person is being disrespected anywhere across the world. Same.
Love ourselves. Black people are hated everywhere. You go to America, you go to Britain, you go to Europe, everywhere. How can we be hated all over and still be hated at home where we're supposed to love one another? And
with Dr. Omar said the same thing, that a black person is not respected anywhere in the world. What we see is our perpetual sellout from our leaders in Africa. You see them kissing or kneeling or kissing the feet of these people that we call our friends, whether we call the people from the East or the people from whatever. They do this. That having known the reality of black South African professionals that are in South Africa, it is very painful to know that there are a lot of black South Africans, very qualified, but they are discriminated in their own country. In the same of a black manager at a bank and a white manager, somebody who probably just have a one undergrad degree, guy who has got a master's or an honors. That if you go to their salaries and how much they are making at the end of the year, you will realize that the white manager at the same institution will be earning 3 times more than the black person who is actually overqualified than the white guy. So where are the black people going to be respected? In their own country, they are not being respected. You go out there, you think that these are friends that are in the BRICS, they are not respected. It leaves me with one thing that I want to say. For Afrophobia in South Africa, or xenophobia if you want to call it, some black people, inflammatory words, say, we don't want these foreigners, we don't want these people, we don't want this, what? Have you seen how the people that you are not calling foreigners treat your own people in their own countries? Chinese that have got companies in Johannesburg, in everywhere, they're not treated like such, like second-class citizens in their workplaces. They don't get discriminated and face dudula. They're not being asked, do you have papers to operate what you are operating? No, they don't get that. But the black person is being subjected to all manner of scrutiny and all of that. Look, I don't condone the people that do illegal things and they sell drugs in the community. Let us be able to separate the criminals and the people who are living an honest living in the streets of South Africa. Separate them. Be able to call a spade to say, you are operating as a black person. Let me be able to negotiate with you as my brother, just like what these other races do. They negotiate each other on that term. Whether somebody's from India, they've this mutual understanding or respect that they have for each other. Americans are not treated like this in anywhere in the world, but if they are black Americans, they get the same brand that you find with any other black person, whether from Africa. So this is the problem that we have in the world. And as black people, until we unite, until we have that mentality to say, if I see a black person erring, or if I see a black person I should not treat them as a foreigner or as an enemy, but I should be able to talk to my brother, to talk to my sister, and know that it is in me where they find a home. I'm not talking about criminals, I'm talking about the people, a brother to brother level. If somebody behaves like a criminal, let them be treated like a criminal. But it must not get to a point whereby I mistreat my brother to a point where I want to kill them or I wish death on them. It has to stop. So this is a message to South Africans, to any other black person in the world, whether in Zambia or whether in Zimbabwe. Never treat a black person with disdain like what we are seeing happening to other races. But anyway, tell me what you think about this, and I'm glad that this girl, this lady, found help. I saw Clayton Monyela from the Department of International Relations saying that she's now in Germany, she's safe. That's the good news on her part. But what about others that are in the same predicament? How are they coping? How are they finding life at the hands of their employers in countries that I have not even mentioned, but you know them, but you have the same or similar experience? You want to speak out, reach out, and let us talk about this. And let's stop this rot that we are seeing happening in our countries that we call friends. See you on the next video.